In this video, we'll review Longwood Campground just outside of Clarksville, Virginia in Mecklenburg County. Longwood is part of the John Kerr Buggs Island Lake Reservoir, maintained by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Longwood is located at 13500 Highway 15 in Clarksville. You can GPS that address, but I found it's better to run multiple GPSs as they don't always agree as to the best route. As usual, there are many county and secondary roads necessary to get here, but we found all were passable in our 38-foot motorhome with a towed vehicle behind us. As with other U.S. Army Corps of Engineers parks, this one is well laid out, quite spectacular, although I think North Bend Park has it beat by a little. We surely enjoyed our stay, and you'll find Clarksville a charming town to visit, as well as other surrounding towns.
My dogs and my bride, we're living wild and free. On the road for a wild ride, just my love and me. Moving slow from the hills to the sea. Every mile is a memory, exploring in our travel RV.
Immediately after entering the main gate, the immediate road to the left is the daytime use area. We'll come back and walk this area later, but for a quick review, there is a playground, a picnic area, a beach and swimming area. We'll explore this in a little bit, but for now, let's start looking at the campsites. We'll start with sites 1 through 19. This will be a quick drive-through, and I'll cover the better sites in a little more detail. I'm showing you the map of Longwood Park, but I'll be frank, it's quite confusing. So it's best to just go ahead and drive around the park when you get there and follow the signs to your campsite number. Following the map, I'm not so sure you're going to have success with that. Coming up, we have Site 1. As you can see, it's a deep site. And then right adjacent to it, we have Site 2. Notice these sites are not exceptionally close to each other, which gives a decent level of privacy. I don't know if these sites have electricity or not. You'll have to look at that yourself. I will point out sites that do have electricity when I see them. And now we're coming up on Site 3. Once again, a good deep site. I do see a power panel back there, so these sites obviously do have electricity, but I would still check when you book these sites. Coming up next, we have Site 4. And I might speed up the video a little bit to get through these a little quicker. This would be a lifetime video if I cover each site in detail. These are the inland sites, and you may be less likely to be interested in the inland sites. This is Site 5. 4 was the site we just looked at. And we'll keep going on down the line, and we're going to get to probably Site 7, I'm guessing. No, that's Site 6. So we're at 6 now, and it's a good deep site. We'll keep going. There's 7. Now there's lots to do near this park. There's a lot of really interesting cities you can visit, small towns. Clarksville is one of them. Here's Site 8. Again, a good deep site. I don't see a power panel, but I bet there's one back there. Okay, we're going to look at Site 10 right now. And if you look at Site 10 and you look in the distance, you'll see that you're starting to see some of the water. And adjacently across from it is Site 9. It also has a very slight water view. As we go further into the park, into this section, the water sites get much more accessible to the water, but they're non-powered sites. It's dry camping. So be sure you're prepared for dry camping if you book any of these sites. Now there are plenty of electrical sites that are on the water, and we stayed in one. We just looked at 11, and now we're looking at 12. And the sites get even better. We get into a little compound area here where several sites are packed together tightly, but they're all closely packed against the waterfront. I need to remind everyone that if you want an electrical site, be sure to check and verify when you do your booking. There are plenty of gorgeous waterfront electrical sites here. This site is not clearly marked, but I believe it might be site number 15. There's a post marker at a place here that says 15 right there, but I don't really know why it's at a place like that. You have a community bathroom coming up right here. I guess it is a co-ed bathroom. But we'll also check the plumbed bathroom facilities later in this video, so you won't be stuck using these remote toilets. We're coming up now on site number 16. And it's a good deep site, good waterfront. But there are better sites than these. And right adjacent to that is site number, drum roll please, cameraman, get to it, 17. We figured that, didn't we? Okay, so now we're going to go looking at the last couple of sites. Here we're going back to an inland site, and that seems to be site number 18. And we're going to finish up with the final site in this section, which will be 19 and coming up shortly. There's 19 right there, a good inland site. Now the sites are more level than the camera is giving credit for, but you will have to possibly do some blocking when you level your coach or your motorhome. And we're coming up shortly here on site number 20. It's right up here, and there she is. A little bit of a water view. Site 20, again, does not have electricity. And here we go again with the next site, which will probably be site 21. Let's see if I'm guessing this right. I don't see a marker. There you go, 21. You know, I did this video months ago, and I'm roughing it a little bit because I don't have a fresh memory of the park. As you all know, I was struck down with lymphoma, and I'm undergoing treatment. I'm doing well. We're at site 22 now, and this is a nice large site. It's probably a double site, meaning that you're going to pay twice the price. I can't quite tell. You'll have to look that up. But they do have some double sites if you want to double up with another camper. Anyhow, getting back to the treatment, I'm halfway through it. I'm feeling pretty good. I believe that the Lord is going to give me a pass on this illness, and I'll be right back out on the road with you. Here's site 22. Again, a nice water view site. There are very few disappointing sites in any of the Army Corps of Engineers parks. I think you'll be thoroughly pleased. So I've come back to the day use area. I wanted to show you that real quick, as it's close to this section. You can actually walk to the day use park from this section. There's a pathway. Anyhow, we're at the bulletin board here where you can get various information and brochures. But in the distance on the right side, you can see there's a picnic area and quite a nice large park area. And there's the swimming area. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the swimming area. I've kind of going to police the area. That's one of the things that I like to do when I go to these areas. If people leave their trash or their junk laying around, I typically do pick it up. I hope some of you all will too. It's a shame to spoil the natural beauty of these parks. Be sure to observe the rules. And as I'm looking here, it looks like it's fairly clean. So maybe I don't have anything to pick up here. But generally I do. If people leave wrappers or cans or bottles or things that they shouldn't be leaving, I bend over and pick it up. Why not? So let's take a little look at this park. I'll quit talking for a few minutes and let you have a gandering on this and see what you like. So now we're going to start on looking at sites 29 through 62. And we'll cover these in a little more detail, I think. Let me get to this video and we'll see what we've got. There's a good bit of driving difference in between these sections. So I'll tell you a little bit more about the surrounding area as we get to the next section. There are several cities that border this park that are worth visiting. Warrenton, North Carolina is one of my favorites, but also Clarksville is a wonderful little town to visit. There are several restaurants in both places, and I think that you'll thoroughly enjoy visiting these towns. There is a haunted area called Bricey, Virginia. You can visit. There's a video online here about our visit to Bricey. But Warrenton has an exceptional little sandwich shop in an old hardware store. And I think you would enjoy visiting Warrenton, North Carolina, which is probably from here about a 30-minute drive. And we thoroughly enjoyed traveling to these little towns. You can find these in our other videos. If you want to check out Warrenton, look for the video North Bend Park Attractions and Towns Part 2. We go into detail into several of the towns, including Bricey, Virginia, Warrenton, and a couple of other places. We will be doing a Part 2 to this video where we'll be covering Clarksville. And there's a lot of interesting things to do in Clarksville. And while you're visiting this area, you might want to check out a nearby plantation attraction, Presswood Plantation. We went, but they were closed. They were doing some remodeling or refurbishing, but we plan on going back and we will be visiting Presswood. I did walk the grounds and it was an interesting plantation. It's well preserved and it's a worthwhile travel stop. We're coming up here on Site 30, and as you can see, it has a great water access. There's a stairway that goes down to the water, from what I can tell. Here's Site Inland 31. It also has a water view, but you don't have direct access. This may be a good site to buddy up with because you've got an adjacent site. I didn't get the number, but it's probably 32. This is one of the nicer sites in the facility. It's surrounded by water on most of its side. It's convenient because you have water right in the front of the site. You don't have to go and fill up your tanks at the service station. I have to admit, I don't generally use the water at any of these parks. I can't tell you how good the water is at these parks. It's probably well water. It may taste okay, I don't know. I bring my water from home. Here's Site 33, and I see a stairway in the back down to the water, so it does have water access. Probably has electricity, but I don't see the panel box. And then we're coming up here on site number, I don't know what site number yet. Give me a second. 34. It's a great site, but there is no electricity here from what I can see. So I think we have a mix of electrical and non-electrical sites for dry camping. But like I said earlier, some of the prettiest sites in this park are dry camping only. And here we are at site number 35. It's a gorgeous site as well. You've got water surrounding you almost. No electricity, so it's dry camping again. And here we have another site. This is site number, drum roll please. We don't need no stinking drum roll. This is site 36. And again, it's a gorgeous site. No electricity, but you have water access, and it's a beautiful place to dry camp. Sorry about my voice. The medicines that I take make an old man sound even older. We're at site number 37 now. Again, it's a dry camping site. Not quite as clear of a view of the water, but still a very nice water view nonetheless. As we go a little further down here, we're going to hit probably site number 38. We'll look for the post to come up here in a moment. This is, as I recall, not an exceptionally deep site. So I'm not sure what these site numbers are right here. So you might want to look at that confusing map. So we've jumped all the way up to 41. So I'm not sure what happened to site 38. Probably it was the inland site that we just saw. Again, dry camping, decent water view. And we have 42 here. It appears to be dry camping. And adjacent to that, I'm assuming that's site 43. Yeah, that's what it says on the tag. So that's a good site to buddy up with another camper that you want to be close to. Here we have another co-ed bathroom. Probably not a plumbed facility, I'm guessing. I didn't go in it. But again, they do have nice facilities here if you're willing to ride on down to them. Here we have an inland site. It's quite large, quite spacious. When the park is full, don't be afraid to get these inlet sites. I didn't get the number, but it might be 43 since now we're looking at 44. 44 has a obscured water view, and we're getting further and further away from the water as we go down this pathway. Now we're getting onto site number 46. But due to GoPro camera difficulties, we're going to be jumping over to another section, to the waterfront sites that start at, I believe, site number 62 coming up. Now, these are some of the best sites in the whole park, in my opinion. As we head to the new section, we're passing one of the bathhouses. This is fully plumbed, and it's a fairly nice facility. I'll be showing this to you in detail in a few minutes. But here we are approaching what I feel are the best electric waterfront sites in the whole facility. Starting at 62. Right here was our next door neighbor, and they are at site 62. And it's a gorgeous waterfront site. And coming up is site number 61, and there is my motorhome. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's my little doggies on the dash looking at me recording this video. This was a wonderful site. I really enjoyed this site. And if I go back to this park, I will probably try to get this very same site, number 61. It has electricity and water, and it's got a great view and access to the water. There are a couple of inland sites here. I'm showing it to you across my roof. Here we have site number 59, which has good water access. It's a nice deep site, and this particular fellow was wondering why I was recording his camper as I went by about 4 times. I had camera difficulties through most of this recording. For some reason, my batteries weren't charging, and then I had the one camera that kept tearing the video. It was just not an easy park for me to film. We're coming up on inland sites now, lot 50, and then we have 51, and then we have 52. 51 and 52 are pretty close together. And of course, here's 53. And right across from 53 is another bathroom convenience station. Probably not plumbed. Again, I didn't check. But you're only about a quarter of a mile or less from the main bathroom facilities. Here we have site number 54. And as you probably guessed, here comes 55. These are all very decently sized lots. All of these are inland, but there are waterfront here. Here's 56. And you can see that's quite a lot of space that fella has. And now we're starting to get to the waters with 57. You've got a pretty good water view. And at lot 58, it gets even better. And here we're looping around and coming back down the road to where my site is. So this is a small loop, but the waterfront sites here are exceptional if you want one with electricity. You can see my motorhome on the right side there as we go past it. Now we're going to head back towards the bathroom area and I'm going to show you the facilities. Each bath area has a bulletin board with pertinent information for you to take a look at. The bathrooms are not modern, but they were clean, and I used it every day that I was there. This utility area, I'm not exactly sure what it was for, but I used it to give my small dogs a bath. So we're going to go back out and we'll walk around, and we'll enter the men's bathroom. I happen to know that there's nobody in there, so it's safe to go ahead and bring this camera in there and show it to you. As you can see, the facilities are clean. They're certainly not in bad shape. You have a toilet area over here where you have various stalls and a sink and places to do your business. But then on the other side is where the showers are. Got a peek of that urinal right there. The bathrooms were very lightly used. I don't think I encountered anybody the 3 or 4 times that I used it. And I did shower every day. I'm kind of a bug for getting a shower. I don't tolerate sweat very well. That was the stall right there that I showered in, and it did have hot water. And this particular shower had I used the handicap shower because it had a handle that you could take down and spray the water on your back and so forth. But technically now I am handicapped with this cancer treatment that I'm going through. But the bathrooms are quite modern. As we come out of the bathroom, there's more information and different information on the back of this billboard. I did all of my showers at night, and I want to point out that I had an uncanny feeling that I might run into a bear, but I didn't. But it is kind of dark, and it is an area where there are bears, so you might want to be careful using the showers at night. One of the best features about this campground is its close proximity to Clarksville, which is only about 7 or 8 minutes up the road. Clarksville has quite a few places where you can get a nice dinner or a nice lunch. We didn't go to every single restaurant, but we went to most of them, and all of them were decent to very good. There's a lot of history in Clarksville, and it's in close proximity to Chase City and also the plantation, which we'll cover that and more in part B of this video. So be sure to check out part B and join us in a tour of Clarksville. Starting with this video, I'm going to include a section called Best Sites. This is where I'll show you what I feel are the best campsites in the whole place. Pay attention to the numbers of these campsites. The first one was 29, and we're coming up here on 30, I believe it is. Look at that view. Wow, look at that water. And you have access to that water, and it's a right nice, decently sized site. As we pass site 30, I noticed there's a power panel back there, so it's not a dry camping site. It's quite a nice site to spend a weekend in if you don't want to be dry camping. And then we're coming up here on 31, and this is a pull-through site, I believe, and there is electricity here as well. So these are what I consider to be probably the most premium of all the sites. And next, I think this is 32 coming up. I'm looking for the electrical panel, but I don't see one at this point. Okay, this is fresh in my memory now. There's a peninsula here with a whole bunch of dry camping sites, all of them premium water sites. So feel free to camp here, but you're going to be doing it dry camping, like this fellow right here in this fifth wheel. So before I close the video, I'm going to show you my personal site that we stayed at. I still think it's a great site. 29 or 30 might be better. We're going to have to decide that after I look at this video. But my site was an excellent site. I'm standing down here by the water, There's a pathway right from the site to the water, and I'm going to give you a little zen right now. But let's go on up to the site, and I'll show you. There's my Ford Maverick and the tow dolly, and I'm going to tell you, that was a job keeping those two together and safe on the road. I'm so glad that I bought the Ford Maverick, and you can see the conversion to a 4-down towing video on my YouTube site. Here's my little doggies. They're looking at me wondering what in the world I'm doing. They're probably hungry, and I'll need to get in there and feed them in a few minutes. But I wanted to show you the surrounding area of my site. This is a gorgeous site. You decide. You tell me whether you think 29 or 30 is the better site, or 61 here is the best site. Let's have a look. Okay, I gotta admit, 29 or 30 is a better site. If the trees were not there, I'd have a great water view site. I still thoroughly enjoyed staying here. But next time I go, you'll find me at site number 29 or 30. So we've reached that point in time where I'm afraid to say it's time to go. This is our last day here, and I'm going to be packing up in a short while, and we're going to be heading back to Hertford, North Carolina. But I would like to ask you to join me again. I'm going to get healthy, and I'm going to get back on the road, and I'm going to be bringing a lot of these videos to you. It's just a matter of time. The Lord's going to heal me, and I'm halfway there. I'm better than halfway there. So stay tuned for my next video, Part B, and I'll show you the joy of the surrounding towns that you can visit right here from Longwood Campground.